And we are live. All right. Posting the links in the Facebook and Patreon groups. That's all done. I'm more streamlined in it now. Oh, I wrote link to live stream in Patreon. And then I've got to put the link there. That would be classic Adam. All right. Okay, wait. Cool. Done. Links are in. People are on their way. Oh, they have arrived. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Brandon coming at us from South Africa. Do some big holds today. Who else have we got here? Who else is ready for some long static breath hold? That is what we're up to today. Today is going to be fun. But the other thing, I suppose, maybe I'll wait till more people arrive before I give you like my little pre-workout spiel. Yeah, I'll do that. I went for a dive on the weekend here. It was very, very nice. We shot a vlog about camera comparisons in the water. So we took 4 different cameras. And hey, good morning, Christian. We took 4 different cameras and we shot the same kind of scenes with them all and whacked it all together. And I think it looks kind of cool. Aaron's been editing that all day while I have been hanging out with Ellie at the beach. So yeah. All right. So today, guys, what we're going to do is do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of stretching, and then we're going to get into 6 static breath holds. And we're going to do it all together. So we're going to go at intervals, and I'm going to just stretch the intervals out the further that we go. So we'll do 6 breath holds, 6 breath holds in total. Brandon just said, I'd love to get into underwater photography. And it's fun, Brandon. It's fun, but expensive. But you know what? I think underwater photography and then or like underwater videography or just enjoying, taking video or photo underwater, totally 2 different things. Because we took a GoPro out, and a lot of the time the GoPro footage, which, will cost you like $500, was comparable to the footage that you get on like the big DSLRs, which would cost you like $10,000. I suppose it depends on what you're after. You know what I mean? If you're going to go deep into the editing of the footage, you need the big camera, but otherwise the GoPro is pretty good. So tonight we're doing 6 static breath holds in total. We're going to be building up to a longer static breath hold towards the end. And that's more or less it. We're going to, hey, Hannah, Cape Town rocks. So we'll start with our breathing stuff and all that jazz. The only thing I do want to say is that when, obviously, like anytime you begin a workout that's like, here we go, we're going to do some long breath holds. I think we all, hey, good morning, Rock Mastiff. Not Mastiff, Massive. Good morning, Rock. I think we all have this thing in our head where we're like, I'm going to get a PB today, or I'm going to do a huge hold today. And I think we just have to kind of right now at the start, just let that go. So the goal of the day today is not going to be, hey, Chloe, good evening. The goal of the day today is not going to be to do a PB breath hold or to do a monster breath hold. The goal of the day today is to be able to consistently do breath holds that are longer than normal. The longer or long-ish breath holds, not breath holds that are like, that you do in a standard CO2 table. Like breath hold. Let's say breath holds that are above, that are sort of about at least 80% of whatever your PB is. Does that make sense? So to do a few consistent breath holds that are about 80% of your PB. And if you get to within 90%, fantastic. If you get to 95% of the PB, even better. If you do a PB, then that's wonderful. But the goal is to do consistent breath holds close to the PB. Cool. All right. So we're going to start with our breathing. We're going to do stomach, intercostals, chest. Then we're going to do full breaths. And then we'll do a little bit of Uddiyana Bandha or stomach vacuums. And then we'll get straight into the breath holds. Cool. We're going to do a packing workshop on Wednesday. So that will be fun. And then we'll get into some breath holds there and then as well. And you'll feel the difference between how you feel after packing and without packing too. So that's always really interesting. But anyway, let's get to a comfortable position, seated, laying down, wherever you are. Hey, Chloe, how you doing? This dab, I need to get myself this dab emoji. All right. So first, let's begin. 2 minutes of stomach breathing. Just breathing into the stomach as deeply as we can. Nice and relaxed. Let's get everything moving and warming up. And 2 minutes. Good. Just keep breathing. Last time we did a static session, I ran a visualization, and I do recall people saying they liked it. And I said that the next static session I do, I will do visualizations for all of the breath holds. So that is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to attempt to guide you guys through a visualization for all the 6 breath holds. We'll see how it goes. Oh, cool. All right, that's been 1 minute now. 1 minute of breathing into the stomach. You can really start to push it out now. Like now that we've done this exercise quite a few times, you really can start to push the stomach out, because the purpose of this part of the warm up is to get those muscles moving. So feel free to really give it a nudge, especially towards the end of that 2 minutes of breathing into the stomach. We just want it to feel comfortable when taking those final breaths when it comes to the breath holding part. So it's been 1:30, so another 30 seconds. As we're doing this, I'm going to think about what my visualization is going to be. If anyone has any recommendations for a part of the world where they would like to go tonight, write it as a comment, and I will try to guide a visualization there. All right, that's been 2 minutes. So let's stop the stomach breathing. And we'll begin 2 minutes on a rec. Yeah, okay. Let me write that down so I don't forget. So we'll begin 2 minutes of intercostal breathing. So let's start now. Intercostals. Pushing out to the side as we inhale. And somewhere far from the water in the desert. Okay, somewhere far from the water in the desert. Okay, so we're gonna go to a rec. Let's do the blue hole. Breathing into the intercostals as we do this. Oh, like a deep oasis. Yeah. That's a good idea. Deep oasis. That'd be cool. Swimming with whales in Tonga again. Yeah. You can't go past whales. So once again, it's been 1 minute now. So now start to breathe. I don't like to use the word aggressively, but a little bit more aggressively. Really push it out as you're breathing in. Get it moving. Crack, blue hole, deep oasis, whales. We'll go to I'm going to go to Kogus. And lucky last one. It's been 1:30 now. All right, we got one more recommendation for a visualization. One more slot left. You have a big. No, I don't have a specific visualization for when I'm at a conf. We'll start the next breathing. I can talk to you guys while you're breathing. So okay, that's been 2 minutes. 2 minutes of intercostal. So now let's start the chest breathing. 2 minutes of chest breathing. And going, opening up as we inhale. Back to neutral as we exhale. Before a deep dive, I I run my mental program, which is just thought, I think, in the exact same way um, every single time before my deep dive. And it's usually it's my family, so I think about my family and I think about being with them and all the love and all that kind of jazz, and I kind of make the love a physical thing, which is a ball of light, and it all swirls around and all that kind of jazz. So that's what I visualize before I go down for a deep dive. It's always the same. I suppose it's different than this. Like, I suppose like when we're doing static like this, we're using the visualization as a relaxation tool and also as a distraction. So I suppose before a dive, you don't really want to distract yourself too much, because you got to also be focused on what you're about to do. So otherwise, just start swimming off into nowhere. We have deep space. So deep space is our last one. I'm going to start with deep space. That'll be the first visualization I do. Don't laugh at me when my knowledge of deep space does not meet your expectations. Do you know what, Rock? Just because deep space is out of theme, let's go with sailing on the South Pacific, because the rest have been dives. You know what I mean? Like we're like as if we're doing breath holds. So let's go for, we've got sailing on the South Pacific, but I'd like to keep it breath holding themed. All right, that's been 2 minutes of chest breathing, so relax there. We'll keep it all breath holding. I'm just going to say like a reef, a beautiful reef on the South Pacific. I know exactly where I want to take you with that one. I'll start there. We're going reef. Boom. And I'll get us there on a sailboat, Chloe, just so it all ties in. Okay, so let's start 2 minutes of full breaths now. We're going to do the first minute where we just are breathing constantly, and then the second minute we're going to fill up, stomach into constant chest, and we're going to hold, and then when we're all full, we're going to open up and close, and then back to neutral, and let it go. All right, so let's do that. 3, 2, 1, and 2 minutes. Filling up nice and deep. So once again, this is a stretch. So we're using the breathing to warm up our respiratory muscles and stretch them a little bit. So feel free to breathe vigorously. It's not an issue whatsoever. This Thursday, I am going for a night dive under a bridge. So that should be really fun. I've never gone for a night dive under a bridge, but it's meant to be pretty amazing. So, yeah. I was just trying to think. I don't even know if I'll be able to film the thing, because I don't think I have a good enough torch to film something like that. And I don't know where I'll be able to get one right now. So that's okay. Really interesting. Not really interesting, I suppose. All right, guys, it's been 1 minute now. So let's start to hold and then open and close. So open and then close, and then exhale. So often, I suppose, like when I'm out fun diving, I have the camera with me, or I'm training. So it's like I'm always doing something that's like goal orientated when I'm diving. And lately, I've been doing a lot of fun diving, just like literally going out and splashing around in the water. And it's almost like I think sometimes I forget what it is to just really enjoy the fun diving, really enjoy the diving in itself without associating it with work or training or something like that. So it's been really, really pleasant, just diving in my local area. And there's nothing much here to do. Like, it's not like a crazy area. There's nothing exciting really, but it's been very, very pleasant. Plus I have a 7 mil wetsuit, and the water here is like 20 degrees, and I'm wearing a 7 mil suit. So I'm like super warm. It's amazing. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Okay, all right. So, throw you a sailboat, Chloe, done. Let's do a little stomach vacuum. So, you know, I say this all the time, but I do like to be really gentle with the stomach vacuum. I know a few people have injured themselves doing it. So, first one, just a passive exhale, maybe lean forward a little bit as you do it. So, and then suck in. And breathe. Good stuff. All right, next one. Passive exhale, small forced exhale towards the end. Good. Bren says he's never not worn a 7mm. South African diamond. All right. Last one. On the last one, we're going to massage down. So we're going to suck in and we're going to push down on our rib cage. We're never going to pull up. We're just going to push down. So same thing with forced exhale. Not too much. Probably a little bit more than we did last time. Holding the vacuum the whole time. And then relax. Cool. Alrighty, guys. So let's begin our breath holds. So we're going to do the first two at a 4-minute interval. The first two, they're just warm-ups. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's not be aiming to do anything crazy on the warm-up. The warm-up's purpose is, right? So when we're thinking about these breath holds, the purpose of the warm-up is to get excess CO2 in the body. So this is also why for the first two we're not going to do any hyperventilation, you know, because we're gonna do no hyperventilation for the first two breath holds. We're going to do our 3 purging breaths for the second two, and then we're going to do 6 purging breaths for the last two. Now, I think at the end of this workout, I'll have a conversation about hyperventilating and why we're doing it here and why, you know, and like why we're doing it in this amount and all that kind of jazz as well. Because I think that's also important to, you know, I don't know if any of you guys watched the public one I did of this, and we did a little bit of hyperventilating. We just did the 3 purge breaths. We never went up to 6 because obviously, like, they're not as I don't there. It's like a less trained of a group and a bigger group, and also yeah, I just don't want to be responsible for that. But for you guys, it's okay. So. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So the first two at 4-minute intervals, the second two at 5-minute intervals, and the last two, the number 5, will be at a 6-minute interval. And then obviously the last one will just be kind of open. Now, I know that found the differences between what you do with them interesting and smart on your part. Oh, thank you. Stop it, calling me smart. The longest I'm going to go tonight with the breath holds will be about 10 to 15 seconds beyond the longest person's PB here. So if you've noticed in the past, I always say, all right, guys, and now we got the 6 minutes, now breathe. So from memory, the biggest PB we have here in the group at the moment is about 6:10, 6:15. So I'll count up to 6:30, and that will be the farthest that we go, just in the last one. But yeah, so anyway, so for the first two, we really want to keep the CO2 inside. So we'll do no hyperventilating, and the goal of that breath hold, just so you have it in your mind when you're doing it, is to actually experience the CO2, because that engages the hypercapnic response. That engages your body's dive reflex. So that's what we're after here. All right. So we're all in a comfortable place. We're laying down. We have our nose clips on, and you have 2 minutes to breathe. So we're doing our nice shallow tidal breathing. Let's all relax and breathe as if we were trying to fall asleep. Breathing really relaxed and slow. Maybe we're sweeping our mind around our body, relaxing anything that feels tight. Just guide your mind around the body and feel everything. Be aware of how your body feels. Look for little points of tension, look for knots in the muscles, and just relax them. Breathing as if we're really trying to just drift off to sleep. Right. It's been 1 minute, so you have 1 minute to breathe. Now just remember that we're not going to do any purge breaths for this one. No form of purging breaths. We tidal breathe right to the end and we just take a final breath and go. All right, that's been 30 seconds. 30 seconds to breathe. "20 seconds. "10 seconds. Get ready for your final breath. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Filling up as much as we can while remaining relaxed. Big full breath and then hold. And our eyes are closed. And in your mind's eye, I want you to picture that you're sitting on the bow of a yacht and you're sailing slowly through the water. And you're in Fiji and you're surrounded by beautiful islands, volcanic looking islands. The grass on the islands is this beautiful bright green and the rocks are grey and white, cliffs that tumble down into the ocean. And the ocean has that amazing iridescent blue that you find in the Pacific, reflecting off that blue, blue, blue of the sky. And the yacht gets closer slowly to this island. The island has a huge, huge cliff on the backside of it and a grassy hill that rolls up to that cliff. It's been 1 minute now. And you anchor on the side of the island next to a beautiful white sandy beach. Put your mask on, put your fins on, and you dive off the bow, off the front of the boat into the water. There must be at least 40 meters of visibility. It's absolutely insane. And because the water is so clear and it's so sunny, the light dances in the water in front of you. It's been 1 minute 30. Just shards of light and beams of light flickering in the water in front of you. You dive down and you swim to the reef, which is just a few meters below you. The reef itself is incredibly healthy and alive. There's fish swimming all over the reef and coral like you've never seen before in your life. The coral is vibrant and alive, and you can almost feel it growing around you. And it's been 2 minutes. You swim along the reef, and there are colorful parrotfish swimming everywhere. There are small little fish swimming along the coral, swimming in and amongst the coral. You spot a little clownfish, and you stop, and you play with it. You put your nose close to the clownfish, and it swims around its anemone. You keep swimming along the reef, and you see a beautiful, immense manta ray crossing your path. That's been 2 minutes 30 now. The manta ray swims really lazily, just gliding through the water. You swim up to it, thinking that you might scare it, but you don't. For whatever reason, it feels comfortable with you. 2:45. You have 1 minute 15 to breathe if you're breathing. And the manta ray, as you swim closer and closer to it, it swims up as if it's going towards the surface. And you swim down. What actually happens is the manta ray, that's been 3 minutes, 1 minute to breathe. The manta ray passes directly over you. Its shadow passes over your body, and you see it outlined against the sky. And it passes and swims away into the distance. And then you swim up to the surface and start to breathe. Look around at the incredible place where you're in the middle of the Pacific. All right, guys, so we're going to do the next breath hold also with no hyperventilation. So we have 30 seconds to breathe before the next one. On breath hold number 3, we'll start our hyperventilation. All right, that's 20 seconds. Ten seconds. Let's get ready for that final breath. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full breath. Stomach intercostals, chest. Full, 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 full. Hold. And relax. There's a really incredible atoll in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's about 1,000 kilometers off the coast of Western Australia, and it is one of the most remote islands on Earth. It's called Cocos Keeling Islands, and we are standing on one of the beaches of Cocos Keeling Islands. And as you're looking out at the horizon, you're thinking to yourself that the nearest landmass is over 1,000 kilometers away, and the overwhelming feeling of being so far in the wild just takes over you. Now, the ocean is totally flat and calm, and so you walk straight into it, put your mask on, put your fins on in the shallows, and then you start swimming out. That's been 1 minute so far. You start swimming out, and you swim along the reef. Now, there are these channels in the reef, these incredible channels, as if there used to be large waves and swell that rolled into the island that cut these cracks and these crevices through the coral. And you start diving down and swimming through these crevices, and they go quite deep. And there's coral that lines the walls. And then you come up and you look around and you look back at the beach, and it's been 1 minute 30, and there's a beautiful white sandy beach that's lined with coconuts. Go back out. You keep swimming further and further out. You follow these ridges, you follow these cracks in the coral, and eventually you get to this immense drop-off. This drop-off goes down to 300-400 meters deep, and it literally feels like it's the end of the world. That's been 2 minutes. You dive down and you swim along the very edge of that drop-off. And the reef here is vibrant, you see. This reef has been so far removed from humanity. It's as if humanity has never touched it. And it's just teeming with life. And there are sharks everywhere. In fact, it's one of the sharkiest places on Earth. There are reef sharks everywhere swimming around. That's been 2 minutes 30. There are turtles everywhere swimming around. You can barely turn your head without seeing a turtle. There are gray reef sharks. There are white tip reef sharks, black tip reef sharks, and they all swim away from you as you get near them, because obviously you're a very big fish in the water. It's been 2 minutes and 55 seconds now, just about to hit 3 minutes, and that's been 3 minutes. We have 2 minutes to breathe before the next one. So we're swimming along the ledge, and we look down, and it just drops off into absolute oblivion. And so you swim down the ledge and you look at the wall, this ancient this ancient wall that drops down hundreds and hundreds of meters. That's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And the wall is lined with soft corals, different colored soft corals. And they're really, really pretty and beautiful. And then you start to swim back up to the surface, looking at all the turtles around you, all the incredible fish. 3 minutes 45. And you get to the surface, and an overwhelming feeling of just being in a spectacular place just overwhelms you. It's been 4 minutes now. We have 1 minute to breathe before the next one. 1 minute to breathe. So we're going to do a little bit of hyperventilating for this next one, and we're going at 5-minute intervals now. So when I say 30 seconds, we're going to take 3 hyperventilation breaths. All right, and that's 30 seconds. First hyperventilation breath. 80% inhale. Passive exhale. Second. Third. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final breath, full inhale. And relax and hold. And I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you're in Tonga and you're zipping around on a fast little boat just off one of the nearby islands, and we are getting ready to dive with humpbacks. Now, you've never been in the water with a humpback before, but you can imagine just how huge and what an incredible experience it would be to see something like that in the ocean. We cruise along, and it's a beautiful, calm day, and so we can see all the splashes and all the fluke movements and the fin movements that the whales are doing. We see some splashing going up ahead, like a whale is waving its pectoral fin in the air, and so we slowly motor over there with the boat. That's been 1 minute already. We hop in the water to see what the whales are doing. Sometimes the whales will swim off if they don't want to swim with people, and if they do want to swim with people, they just stay. So we hop in the water and we check out what's going on. Immediately, we see 2 huge adult whales. They look like they might be a mating pair, so they're having fun with each other. Swim right up to the boat and get so close to us that we can see their huge, huge eyes. It's been 1 minute 30. And there's this curious look in their eyes. They swim away together, away from the boat, and we think, oh my God, are they leaving? What's going on? And so we slowly swim after them and dive down into the water. And then we realize that they've actually turned around. They're coming back towards us. And it's only now that while we're underwater that we really see and appreciate the huge mass that these whales are. It's been 2 minutes. 2 huge adult whales that just dwarf us in the ocean. They move lazily and slow. And it's such an overwhelming experience that it's almost emotional. In fact, it is incredibly emotional. The whales swim around us for a few minutes, slowly allowing themselves to get closer and closer and closer. And then, it's been 2 minutes 30, you swim down near one of the whales and you start twirling around in circles. And to your amazement, the whale twirls back in circles, and you know that the whale is now playing with you. It's been 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So you swim back up to the surface and the whale follows you back up. And it does a spy hop where it sticks its head out of the water and looks around you. And then it spins and twirls and flops back down into the water. That's been 3 minutes. You spend a few minutes playing around with these whales, and then they swim off together, nice and slowly. And we hop back in the boat. Before we even start the motors and leave, 2 new whales approach the boat, and we get back in the water. We think maybe it's the mating pair that's returned to come and play with us again, but it's not. It's a mother and a calf. It's a brand new baby humpback whale. That's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And the mother is a little bit protective of the calf. It's trying not to let the calf get anywhere near us, but the calf actually swims underneath the mother, 3 minutes, 45, and swims over to us, this playful little curious thing. We all keep our distance so we don't scare it. And just as fast as it popped out to see us, it pops back around and hides behind its mum. That's been 4 minutes. So we have 1 minute to breathe now. Good. So guys, from now on, I'm only going to tell you the time for the first time at 2 minutes. So I'll try to give you a bit more time to just relax and zone out and not be focused on the time. So let's do our 3 hyperventilation breaths. We're going to say 30 seconds. Going at a 5-minute interval again. This is breath hold number 4. 30 seconds. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final breath. Full, 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 full. And we begin. So I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you are in the middle of a rocky desert. It's not the traditional Saharan sandy desert that we've all seen on TV. It's a rocky desert. And we're following a guide, and they are taking us in between this rocky crevice, this gap between these 2 cliffs. And we realize after a moment, the crevice of the cliffside opens up into this little oasis. There's this little pool of water, and the pool of water is surrounded by cliffs on all sides. There are a few low, small shrubs and trees surrounding the water, but not much vegetation at all. And the water itself looks crystal clear, absolutely crystal clear. We walk over to the water and we feel it, and it's the desert. We think it's going to be warm and nice, but it's actually cold. The water is quite chilly. Luckily, we've brought warm wetsuits. We put our wetsuits on and we dive in and we follow our guide. So first we swim down, and the open pool goes down a few meters. And in one side of this open pool, there's a small cave opening. And we swim with our guide towards the cave opening. And the water in the cave opening, it looks like this incredible green-blue. We're both carrying torches, so we'll be able to see if it gets dark in there. We swim into the opening and we start looking around. The walls in the cave are this beautiful orange rock, and the water is crystal clear. It's been 2 minutes already, guys. We swim through the cave, which is kind of like a tunnel. And then pretty soon that tunnel opens up into a huge cavern. The cavern is filled with old boulders on the floor, and the ceiling of the cavern is very high. We can't quite see the end of it, and so we keep swimming along. That's been 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then the cavern turns into another small tunnel. We keep swimming. And the beautiful orange rock starts to turn to this combination of black rock and white rock. It's been 2 minutes 45. So we swim along, and then the tunnel of black and white rock opens up into another chamber. And this chamber is filled with gleaming white, that's been 3 minutes, stalagmites and stalactites. There's no light in here besides the light of your torch. And as you shine the torch around, it just blares and it glares off the crystal white stalagmites. It's one of the most amazing things you've ever seen. You swim over and you go and you touch this ancient hidden crystal hanging off the ceiling of this cave. That's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and it feels incredibly rough. You keep swimming around the stalactites, the stalagmites, and then it turns into another chamber. All of a sudden, you've gone from this small chamber of beautiful crystal that's been 3 minutes 50 so far, coming up to 4 minutes. Good. And that has been 4 minutes, guys. So we're going to start hyperventilating now, if you haven't already. So we're moving on to breath hold number 5, and we're doing 6 hyperventilation breaths. Breath hold number 5. This is our second last one. So we're going at a 6-minute interval here. Now, this is when you can start to really push the breath holds out a little bit longer. So this is when you can start to draw it out and start to try to feel comfortable going further along. So guys, we have 20 seconds left until we start the next breath hold. Good. All right, it's 10 seconds now. Let's get ready for that final breath. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full breath. Stomach, intercostals, chest, nice and full. And then we are totally relaxed. And let's close our eyes. And we are going to picture the blue hole in the Bahamas. You're walking down the beach to the blue hole. And it's a beach like any other beach you've seen. But then to the left, you see this circular cliff that circles around this blue hole. And the water looks incredible because, I mean, you've never seen water change color this quickly because you've never seen the water get so deep this quickly. It's this incredible tropical turquoise near the shore that changes immediately to a deep green. And then right in the middle, it seems almost black. So you walk over to the blue hole, put your fins on, put your mask on, snorkel on, hop in the water. The water is beautiful, tropical, and warm against your skin. The water just glides over your skin. It feels amazing. Then you swim over to the edge of the blue hole. And it is an amazing sight because you've probably seen videos of it, you've probably seen photos of it, but to see it in person is a whole different thing. The edge of the blue hole ends suddenly, and there is white sand from the edges of the blue hole and from the beach constantly falling down into the pit. And the sand fall looks almost like a cloud underwater. You swim right down to the edge of the blue hole, and you look as this cliff just falls down into absolute nothingness. It's been 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You put your hand in the sand right next to the edge of the cliff, and you push a little bit of sand over the edge and watch it just tumble down into the absolute abyss. And it's amazing. You then follow the sand down into the darkness. You swim through the sand and you dance right through the cloud. That's been 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You stop there and you float, neutrally buoyant, and you look around. The cliff just finishes everywhere all at once in this big circle. And then it moves back under itself like a little hollow nook just below. And then there's a second level to the cliff just below it. So you swim down underneath the first layer of cliff into the hollow nook. That's been 3 minutes. And you go and you sit on the edge of the second tier of the cliff, the second cliff. And you look up and you see the underside of the first cliff, and you look around and you see the surface and the expanse of the huge blue hole, 315. And you swim, then we push ourselves off the cliff and we start to swim around. We swim back up through the sand fall and we swim over the ledge of the first cliff. That's been 3:30. And we see a whole bunch of coral and fish moving around. I think that we've seen the caves so much, but we didn't realize that's been 3:45. There'd be so many fish in the blue hole. We swim over to the reef and we watch the fish swim around. There's big tarpon that have come in from the ocean, huge huge fish. It's been 4 minutes. And you spot a barracuda swimming around in the middle of the blue hole. You come back up to the surface and you look around, and the breeze blows gently on your face. That's been 4 minutes and 15 seconds. You take in a deep breath and you decide you're going to go down for a deep dive, and you plunge down into the blue hole. Going into 6-minute interval now, guys. So about to hit 4 minutes 30, and then we have 1 minute 30 to breathe for the next one. 1 minute 30. You swim down, swimming hard against your positive buoyancy. And then you slowly become neutrally buoyant and you slowly become negatively buoyant. You allow yourself to just sink down into the absolute darkness. That's been 4 minutes, 45 seconds. You're sinking. Your equalization is going so well. And suddenly your dive computer beeps at you. And you're deeper than you've ever been before in your entire life. It's been 5 minutes, 1 minute to breathe before the next breath hold. We've started our hyperventilation now, 6 hyperventilation breaths. Hanno's asked, just keep doing your hyperventilation breaths. Hanno's asking if you went cycling for 90 minutes just before this session, it will mean that you'll have a much harder time doing this. There'll be a lot of lactate in your body. That'll make it hard to hold your breath for long. All right, 40 seconds before the very last breath hold. 30 seconds. Nice deep hyperventilation breaths. 20 seconds. Focus on being totally still, not moving the body at all. Our last breath hold. That's 10 seconds. So we're going to hold our breath for as long as we're comfortable. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Full. Stomach, intercostals, chest, inhale. And then totally relax. Make sure the body and everything is totally disengaged. And then close your eyes. And you are in Terrible Haven. You are right near where I live. And we're hopping on a boat to go and dive the HMAS Adelaide, which is an old Australian warship. We get to the site and it's just buoys floating around in the water. If the buoys weren't there, you'd have no idea that there was a huge ship down below you. The boat ties off on one of the moorings, and you're already geared up, so you just dive straight in the water. Now immediately you can see the communications tower, this big tower sticking up, and it's only a few meters deep. The top of it you can see straight from the surface. We have great viz today, about 20 meters of beautiful blue water. There's a whole school of kingfish swimming around like a tornado, swimming around the communications tower. The communications tower is like a netted metal tower, and it's hollow in the middle. And you swim down through the tower, through the hollow. And as you're swimming down, you watch all the kingfish swirling like a tornado around you. You reach the first deck and look around. There's incredible coral growth on this wreck. And there's fish everywhere. Incredible fish, huge snapper, huge brim. You start swimming along the first deck, and the first deck falls down into the second deck. That's been 2 minutes already, guys. And right there on the second deck is the helm. You go straight into the helm and you grab the wheel and you start driving the ship. You're sitting in the captain's chair now, and it's cool. There's an amazing room there that's been preserved. In the back of the helm, in the back of the room there's a door that opens up into another chamber. That's been 2 minutes and 30 seconds already. So you turn around and you swim to the chamber. Now, it would be pitch black in here if there hadn't been slits cut into the wall. So the light shines through and you look around. So you're in a hallway that then opens up into a huge hangar, 2 minutes 45. And as you get into the hangar, you look around and there are fish in here too. there's a huge groper sitting underneath you on the floor. You swim down, you look at the groper. It's been 3 minutes already, guys. And the groper has that big, silly mouth that they have. And it shoots, it inhales some water and spits it back out at you, and you decide to leave it alone and you swim away. You swim up to where you see a little doorway that opens into another hole, and you swim through the hole. And this is where you come out into another huge chamber. That's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds already. You can't see the bottom of this chamber. It's dark down there. In fact, it's black. And so you pull your torch out and you look and you shine it down. It's been 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And you see a sandy bottom. So sand is drained into the hull somehow. And down on the sandy bottom, you see a lot of little fish swimming around. You see a snapper or two, you see a brim. That's been 4 minutes. And so you decide to swim on by and swim out of the chamber. And you're at the stern of the ship now. You start to swim down the side of the hull, and you watch the huge mass, 4 minutes and 15 seconds. The hull is like 15 meters tall. And you swim along the side of it, feeling the weight and the size of the ship as you look at the beautiful coral that's growing on the side and all the fish swirling around. It's been 4 minutes and 30 seconds now. All right. So now is when we want to be starting to really control our contractions. Now is when we really want to use our tongue block technique to stop the contractions when we want them to stop, 4 minutes 45, and then let them roll through when we want to have a contraction. Now, when we hit 5 minutes, you're going to open your eyes, which is now, that's been 5 minutes. Open your eyes, and we're going to keep our eyes open for the remainder of the breath hold because we want to pay attention to our vision, and if we feel our vision is starting to cave in. Control your contractions. 5:15, use the tongue block technique to stop the contractions. The urge to breathe will build up, and then release the tongue block technique to let a contraction roll through. You're in total control. You are the one in charge. That's been 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Good. Even in this final stage of the breath hold, we are staying totally relaxed. We're not responding to the CO2. We're not tensing up. We're not moving. We're staying still and relaxed. 5:45. So we're just about to hit 6 minutes now. Good. You can count your contractions now if you like. That's been 6 minutes. Count them in rounds of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be coming fast now. That's been 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Good. Getting ready for strong recovery breaths at the end of this. 6 minutes 20. And we're going to start breathing again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6:30. Breathe, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Good work. Good work. All right, cool. Woo, fun. I've never done that many visualizations all in a row, so I mean, I have no idea how I went. I was trying to keep it fun and interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure at sometimes. How did everybody go? Let's hear it. Let's hear times. Let's hear experiences. What did we like? What did we not like? Let's get some information here to use to go into the next one, so that we know what how we're gonna do the next breath hold. Brandon, did you do 6:30? Holy fuck, 6:30. I'm gonna assume that's a yes. I'm gonna assume that's a PB. Yeah. How did everybody else go? What did we do? What are our times? Did we get any other long breath holds? Did we get any other PBs? Wow. What was this like? This has only been the second time that we've gone for really long holds like that. So I want to collect as much feedback as possible. I'm just going to wait for the typing. Uh, okay. Okay, here we go. So Brandon says, but if you hadn't been walking me through the contractions at the end, I would have been done at 5:15. Okay, cool. That's always good. But yeah, it was 6:30 for reals. Very solid breath hold, bro. Very, very nice. Alexander says the wreck at the end was amazing. Dry PB 410. That's epic, Alexander. Very, very cool. Nice, guys. So we have 2 PBs, 1 dry and then 1 total PB. What about the rest of you guys? Marie, I got 401 and 404. Yes, Marie. Maria, though, is that a PB? Is that longer than you've ever held your breath before? Yeah, nice job indeed, everyone. Nice job indeed. Cool. All right. Well, so really quickly, when it comes to hyperventilation for static, there's basically, this is kind of how it works. So, oh, there we go. We'll get some more comments. Yana. Hey, Adam, new PB 315. So excited. Felt super relaxed. Thank you. Greetings from Belgium. Amazing, Yana. Hey, that's cool. Very cool. And Marie, yes. Cool, Marie. Hanno, yes, I saw your question. I answered it before. I don't know if you were listening. If you were cycling for 90 minutes just before the session, what will that will mean A, you're fatigued, and then B, there's going to be a lot of lactic acid in your body, or lactate. The way that lactate leaves the body is that lactate breaks itself down into CO2 and you exhale it. So if you've done exercise before breath holds, you'll get a very early urge to breathe, and you probably won't feel very good. It'll be quite a rough breath hold. So that's what's going to happen there. So really good. When it comes to hyperventilation, this is kind of how it works, right? So hyperventilation will make you feel more comfortable, but it will decrease the period of time you can hold your breath for. So what we're doing here, at least at this stage, is we're hyperventilating a reasonable amount. Those 6 hyperventilation breaths is a reasonable amount of hyperventilation. But if we ever get to the point where we are hypoxic or we're getting hypoxic, that's when we know we have to scale the hyperventilation down, deal with more CO2, and then progress forward. Now, so if the issue is CO2, like it is with most of us, then hyperventilation is a nice way to do longer holds. But if the issue becomes hypoxia, which it will eventually with hyperventilation, then we need to pull the hyperventilation away or back down to something more manageable, so that, and then we will get an earlier urge to breathe, but then we'll be able to hold our breath for longer. But then by the time we're there, we're usually a bit more experienced with the urge to breathe and with CO2, and so it's not so much of an issue. So just so like what we're doing now, we're kind of like a starting point. So we will scale back the hyperventilation in time, but for now we're starting there to make it fun, to make it easy and relaxed, and to get some nice holds. There's a lot to learn from these bigger holds, even if we're hyperventilating to get there. Cool. All right, guys. Amazing job. Does anyone have any other questions at all? Otherwise, I will see you Wednesday for a packing workshop and another static workout. Yeah. So I'll just pause for a moment to just see if any other text comes in. Yeah, Wednesday will be fun. We're not going to do pleasure, guys. Absolute pleasure. We're not going to do any like super long breath holds on Wednesday, but I have got something kind of fun planned for you anyway after the packing workshop. It'll be cool. All righty, guys. Well, in that case, I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a fantastic day, whatever time it is for you. What are the times Wednesday and Friday? So Wednesday is the same time as today, so 5 p.m. Sydney time, and Friday is 9 a.m. Sydney time. So I forget what time that is in Europe, but it's good for America. Oh, nose clips. Nose clips. Yes, let's arrange that. Marie, I've got to chat with some people tomorrow about some equipment, and I will bring that up and see how cheaply I can get the equipment, and then we'll pass it on to you guys even more reduced rate. We'll sort it out. We'll make it happen. We'll get everyone those clips. Okay. Have a fantastic day, guys. See you on Wednesday, and thank you so much again for joining. This is a lot of fun, and I love seeing these big holds that you guys are doing. Tonight was really, really impressive. You guys did really, really well, and I'm very, very happy. So have a great day, afternoon, or night, and I'll see you very soon. See you later, guys. Bye.